Hello, everyone. My name is Jose Angulo. This is from a public speaking class, and today I'm going to be talking about a really interesting character within the technology world, but not only that aspect, it's about more like a social empowerment and all those things. So imagine leading a company such as Apple, where you're leading technology, innovation, and so much more. So yeah, I've been talking about the Apple CEO, Tim Cooks. I've been always interested in technology, leadership. That's what I've started doing some research of different characters, and I found this guy that I feel like is being one of the greatest that I've seen lately, based on 21st century. And today I will bring in a little bit of his background, his history, his leadership, his moral, and what made him such a great leader on nowadays. Background and early career. Tim Cooks was born in Mobile, Alabama. It's a little town at the south of the U.S. He decided to get his um, Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering, and later on he decided to get MBA on business on Duke's University, and he got his bachelor at Auburn University. Before he get into Apple, he started developing a career of 12 years working for IBM. He developed different roles. And once he transitioned to that position, started being the CEO on a company called Config, which led him to get into Apple. But he didn't become the CEO right away. He escalated progressively, becoming the senior vice president of worldwide relationship, whose mainly goal was cut expenses and actually improve the profit of the company over the time. The leadership style. So there's different variation the way that Steve Jobs used to do his leadership, the way Tim Cooks does it. Steve Jobs used to be a little more bold, a little more straightforward, maybe a little more aggressive. Rather, Tim Cooks decided to be a little more polite, a little more flexible, and he also offered a lot of room to talk, to bring new ideas, like a safe space for everybody to expose what they think on the point of views, which leads to a more innovation for sure, more opportunities for people to be here on this technological world. Also, he led Apple in a different perspective. He decided to be a little bit more open-minded to customers, to employees, and to stakeholders. He decided to be a little more transparent and a little more honest because he felt like respecting all those three members of the team can make the company become even stronger and even better. Key contribution and innovation at Apple. Tim Cooks became the CEO of Apple of August 2011 after the Steve Jobs passing. It was a really tough time, a lot of ups and downs, but he created in 2015 a new innovation called the Apple Watch. So he was jumping into the trend of wearable technologies, which sets the path for Apple to create new devices that can be actually easy to wear and can be easily used on every other space rather than just a phone. So developing for sure watches, the VR glasses, and so much more. But also under Cook's contribution, it goes beyond what we see as a company, what we see as leading the market in phones, smartphones, cameras, you name it. They've been skyrocketing all the numbers and all the charts. But his vision and his leadership also set a new pattern for what a CEO or a leader can do. He became openly gay, the first openly gay CEO for a multi-billion company like Apple. He also brought to the table different point of view, hiding people for different ethnic background, races, um, um, countries, different languages. He decided to create a broader spectrum of communication. He decided to create a more formal, a more complex way to create things. He decided to give a space for minority to actually share their voices, to actually the opportunity to be heard. And also, he gave the room for a lot of people that was invisible for society. So, what is so important in Tim Cooks in nowadays society? 21st century, he's been leading the path for different changes. Hasn't been the same like the 20th century, and the leadership has been changing a lot. Tim Cooks, he's been showing with his guidance that you don't necessarily have to be completely strict. You don't necessarily have to completely bold to when taking decisions. Even though you have to be a little more strict on the operation, you actually have room for flexibility. so you can bring more people into the table to share new ideas. So Tim Cooks pretty much is been showing us the new way that we can lead companies, the new way that we can basically do leadership. So rather just to be a bossy person, you can be a more open-minded individual. So bringing your own tenets, your own morals to create a more elaborate, a more diverse company. Thank you so much for listening, guys.